Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. This is the box we're making today. And the following video was filmed live, so feel free to fast forward, pause, or rewind it. And there'll be a free inspiration sheet over on my website that has all the measurements. I hope you enjoy the video. Thanks a lot. Okay, so good evening. It is Monday, May 18th. Okay, so we're using, well, let me first discuss Chick Candy 79. I posted it on my website this morning, and I announced the winner for Chick Candy 78. And 79 is the Mini Mates stamp set, along with just some extra paper that was left over. All of these papers are retiring. This is in our current catalog. And these are some that I had left over. This is how I package the 6x6 Designer Series paper shares. I announced those on Friday. So, but I will not be ordering the paper till June 3rd because that's when it's available. So it's still a little bit early, I feel like. Okay. So wrap that back up so I don't lose it. And we are using the Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper. And when I did the haul video, this paper was not yet available to order. So I wanted to show it to you real quickly so that you can see it because, like I said, I didn't get it in until after the fact because it wasn't available the day of. So, they are kind of all out of sorts now because I have kind of been playing with this a little bit. But it's a pretty pack of paper and it's using the new in colors. So this is the perfect pack of paper to coordinate with our new colors. And so tonight we are using the Misty Moonlight. Yeah, I don't know which one. At first, when I used the Bumblebee, I said that was my favorite, new in color. And now I've switched to the Misty Moonlight. Okay, so we're using Blossoms in Bloom along with the coordinating dies. This is another item that is available on June 3rd. I am going ahead and using new product. Because the month of June is going to get even crazier for us since we're going to be listing our house. And so I want to show you as much of the new product as I can before June gets here. So the dies that we're using from this set, though, are just these flowers. That's it. And the stamp that we're using is Thinking of You. But all of these are really good greetings. Now, the reason I didn't use these stamps is because we weren't able to order the Misty Moonlight ink yet. So I have a workaround for that. Okay. I love this color. And I brought all the blues over to show y'all after the fact. So stick around to the end. I'm going to show you all the blue colors that we have. And somebody remind me. Don't let me forget. Don't let me sign off without showing you. Okay. So I am making a super simple project. I've not felt the best the last week. And so today at like 4 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do. I cannot figure out a project because I don't feel the best. And I'm like, okay, wait a second. I'm just going to go back to the basics. I'm going to go back to like one of my most favorite projects in the world to make. It was one of the very first boxes I ever made. So the cardstock measures 8.5 by 5.5. And by just giving you that measurement, you may already know which box we're making. So we're using 8.5 by 5.5 and then some scraps. And then this little piece here measures 5/16 by 4. And the 5/16 is the teeny tiny mark after the 1/4 inch, okay? Then we have some scraps of Whisper White. And then the pattern of paper that I decided to use in that pack is this pattern. I love it. And navy used to be one of my favorite colors way back. I think like when David met me, navy was probably my most favorite color. I had everything in navy, like maybe 12 pairs of shoes in navy, because you can never actually find the right color of navy, right? Okay, so these 3 pieces measure 1 3/4 by 3 1/4. Okay. Technically, if you wanted to decorate the whole box, you could use 4 of those, but I don't need to decorate the back. I'm okay with just decorating the front side, okay? So I'm going to get my Simply Scored scoring tool, and I'm going to place it on the portrait side, and I'm going to score it at 2. And then I'm going to turn it on the landscape side, and I'm going to score it at 2, 4, 6, 8. This is one of those boxes that you can whip out really quickly. It looks good no matter how you decorate it. And yeah, it's super simple. I'm going to use my bone folder to burnish the score lines. Okay. There we go. Now I'm looking for my scissors. Huh. Okay. So over here on the side, I'm going to trim off that little edge and remove that section. That is all that I'm removing, okay? So then I'm going to angle cut that. And then the rest of these I'm just going to cut up to the score line. Okay. So we're going to put adhesive on that part. And that's going to be the back, or that can be the back. So this is where we're going to put our adhesive. So I'm going to go ahead and put my tear and tape on there. And then we're going to do a little additional cutting just to make this assemble a little bit easier. So I just added 2 strips of the tear and tape. And then now I'm going to trim these other 3 tabs just slightly. You could actually trim more than slightly if you wanted to, but this will work just fine. Okay, now let's add our tear and tape. I could have technically gone ahead and done this too, but oh well. I'm going to take your pick tool to remove the backing of, okay, I knew that wasn't coming off right. Let's start at this end. There we go. And then I'm just going to fold this over. Now, we're going to add our paper. So I'm going to take liquid glue. This is the front of our box, so I'm going to add it there. Isn't this such a beautiful color? This is the side of our box. Whoops, okay. Now we can take the adhesive off for the bottom of our box. Oh, come back here. My little piece there. Okay, so fold the sides in, fold that over. Whoops, make sure you got your box straight. There you go. So here is our box. Now, I'm going to show you what fits in there. And I hope that the person that sent me this is on here, because I feel terrible and I've beat myself up about it all day long, and I just cannot remember, and I'm so sorry. Someone, a very dear person that I cannot remember, sent me this. I have the packing slip. They sent it to me. If you're on here, you sent it on April 21st, and it has been sitting in my garage on the table, waiting for me to figure out. I've searched my email. I've searched Facebook. I cannot find who said they were sending me an early home gift. You sent me this navy one. Thank you. And I'm so sorry. I cannot believe I cannot remember who it was. So it holds the tape, okay? Not the tape, the liquid glue. So it's a liquid glue holder. And I have a couple of them. Margaret sent me this one, and Debbie gave me this one. And, oh, I'm kicking myself. If you're on here, please tell me your name. I feel terrible that I can't remember. You asked for my address. You told me you were sending it. Anyway, it fits in here perfectly. So this is our packaging. This is a liquid glue stand. And it goes inside our box, just like that. And then we're going to take this fabulous Misty Moonlight ribbon. I keep looking over thinking, okay, somebody's going to say, Angie, I sent that to you. And then I'm probably going to feel even worse, because then I'm going to be like, oh, goodness gracious. That's right. I remember. The packing slip says it's from Tim. That the buyer was Tim. And I keep thinking, oh, goodness gracious, whose husband is named Tim? It's going to come to me or not. Okay, so let me stop talking. Oh, and it's perfect to have more than one, because I have my creation station, I have my filming station, and then I have my little cart that I kind of wheel around everywhere. Okay, so there's that part. Now, let's stamp. Since I don't have, oh goodness gracious, I forgot the image. Where to put it? Ah, here it is. We don't have the Misty Moonlight ink. I'm going to use Night of Navy, and it will be just fine, because sometimes we stamp images in black and there's no black on the project, right? So that's my take on it. What am I doing with this? Okay. Okay. And you could technically stamp off. If you prefer a lighter color, you could go with that one. So see how that would look? Yeah, just stamp off. It's not exact, but it will work. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with the darker one, because I'm really okay with that. Okay, so what we're going to do is cut that out with the Stitch So Sweetly dies. Now, when I checked last week, they were back in stock. It is quite possible that they've already sold out again. I don't know, but they are carrying over to our new catalog. So I am using them. Now, I want to cut out a flower with the Misty Moonlight. And then I'm going to cut out a Whisper White one. Okay, so that's the three things we're cutting out. And I'm going to grab the Big Shot. And I think that's the wrong one. Y'all are looking at me like, has she lost her mind? Yes, I have. Okay, let's see. I got 3 cutting pads. I only need 2. There's that and that. Okay. It's taller than the box, Dolores. Oh, goodness gracious. You know what? We'll just do one at a time. Okay, so there's that. And then now we'll do the 2 flowers at the same time. You guys can get them on Amazon. I'll share the link with you afterwards. Chase did buy a 3D printer, and so I've been talking to him about making them and me possibly making them available. But they are over on Amazon. They are a liquid glue holder stand, and there are a ton of people that are selling them. Yes. Okay, so back to the project. We've got, oh, I cut out the wrong flower. Grr. That's okay. It's still right here. So I showed you the 4 flowers, but I'm technically only using 1. The lining. The lining? Is that the right? The outline. That's the right word. The outline. Okay. Elvis and Gizmo are doing great. Yes, they are doing well. They need to get their wings clipped because they can fly now. And we have way too many windows in this house. So they are stuck in Brooke's room because ever since we've been on lockdown, they've been flighted. Their feathers are too long, and yeah. Gizmo actually flew downstairs. He flew all the way. They heard me and they were trying to find me. He flew all the way downstairs and into the kitchen the other day. About gave me a heart attack. Okay, we're going to take this little piece here and we're going to use the classic label punch to flag one. We're going to flag both ends, but we're going to get it exactly the width that we want it. I said it measured 4 inches, but it doesn't have to measure 4. And we may trim it a little bit more. Oh, yeah. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive. Then that way, we will know exactly where okay. We want it to be straight, though. A little shorter. Okay, perfect. Now, it's going to go on here like that. So I'm just going to use my liquid glue. A lot of times I usually will pop up this layer, but because the way the flowers fit on here, I'm actually not going to. Okay. Now, we're going to take these. We're going to attach these 2 flowers together. So I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to use my fine tip glue. And I'm going to add the navy, no, it's not navy, Misty Moonlight to the Whisper White. And I just want an outline. Okay, I'm going to set this down because trying to hold it, I want to get this started. Whoa! Boy, did that come out. Okay. Okay, now, the way that I line these up is that there's 2 petals that have little indents, and those match up to the 2 that also have those. See what I mean? Like sometimes it's hard to match up stuff, so. And I'm not doing it perfect. Just a slightly off-centered. Does that make sense? Okay, I got to get this top back on here. I refuse to let another one of these dry out. Now, I'm going to take... Now, this kind of blends in. It's almost like invisible because it's the same color. You could use rhinestones if you want, but I want to use, because it's pretty. And now I'm going to take a little bit. Well, let's see where we want to add this first. Whoa, I bent the leaves. So I'm going to add it right down here. And so I'm going to add my liquid glue only to the left side of it. So I'm just going to slightly brush the left side. And then just hold it for just a second. Okay. Now, take your pick tool back. So here's the one we just made. And here is the one that I made earlier today. So this one has hand sanitizer, a lemon head, and some Burt's Bees. And so all that will fit inside here. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys some of the other options. So when I was making this project, I create by a process of elimination. So people always ask me how I create, and it's like, oh, I'm so backwards. I don't create like other people, I'm sure. I think some people create in their mind first. And I'm going to show you an example of how visual I am. I'm such a visual person that, like, this is my island on Animal Crossing. And I had to draw. I'm terrible. My son did not get my drawing abilities or lack of drawing abilities. So today, when I was trying to come up with a project for you, I first decided that I was going to emboss the greeting with white embossing powder. And this is one of the dies in this set. Somebody asked me to use it. I tried, but it wasn't working for this box. Yeah, since we don't have the ink. So that was my first attempt. And then, no, this one was my first. And I love this one. Look, that's cute, but it's missing something. It's too big, I think. So that was attempt number one. That was number two. And then I'm like, oh, well, wait a second. What if I do this and I add it to this? And then I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if that looks good or not. I don't know if that's right. So I scratched that. Then I fussy cut it and was thinking, oh, I'll just put it in the middle. And then I'm like, okay, wait, I'm losing my mind. That don't look good at all. Then I cut this one out of the stitched rectangle. And, too much white space. You know what I mean? And then I did this one, which was the same as this one, but still too much white space. So it took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was 7. 7. It took me 7 tries. But it was worth it, right? So this is Misty Moonlight. Brand new color. Available on June 3rd. This is Blueberry Bushel, which is retiring at the end of this month. So this color is leaving us. So for those of you that wanted to compare Blueberry Bushel with Misty Moonlight, here you go. Night and day difference. In fact, they're not at all alike, right? Okay, so we'll take Blueberry Bushel out because it's no longer in our menu. So next we've got, now sometimes when you look at Seaside Spray, you see maybe a purple. I kind of do, depending on what you're using it with. But it coordinates beautifully with the Misty Moonlight. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Especially because I love monochromatic. So, Seaside Spray, Misty Moonlight. The next color is Balmy Blue. That don't really match any of those. And the next color is Pacific Point. And the next one is Night of Navy. Now, everyone's asked, how does the Misty Moonlight and the Night of Navy compare? And there you go. You could use them together, but I really like it with Seaside Spray a whole lot better. I just love that. Okay, so there's Night of Navy was the last one. Now we go into like our Caribbean blues. That's what I call them. There's probably a better term. So we've got Pretty Peacock, Pool Party, Coastal Cabana, and Bermuda Bay. So these on June 3rd will be all of our blues. Thank you so much. Have a great night.